What are fermented foods? Are they important for health? In January of 2026, the US federal government updated its dietary guidelines to recommend fermented foods such as sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, and miso. But 5 years before that guideline existed, a team of researchers at Stanford had already provided some of the strongest experimental evidence supporting it. Here is what they did. 36 healthy adults took either of two diets for 10 weeks. One group ate high-fiber foods, legumes, whole grains, seeds, vegetables. The other group ate fermented foods, yogurt, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, kombucha. People might expect fiber to be the clear winner. Fiber had decades of research behind it. Fermented food was the underdog going into this trial. The underdog won. The fermented food group's gut microbial diversity climbed steadily across all 10 weeks, and 19 separate markers of inflammation in their blood dropped, including interleukin-6, a signaling molecule tied to chronic disease and aging. Here's the part that surprises most people. The new bacteria showing up in participants' guts weren't coming mainly from the fermented food itself. Only a small fraction of the microbes detected during the study actually matched what was living in the kimchi jars. Eating fermented food seemed to be helping bacteria that were already in the gut, waiting for the right conditions to thrive. Could a jar of fermented cabbage be doing less like planting a garden, and more like unlocking one that was already there? That single study wasn't alone. A study published in 2023 analyzing data from more than 46,000 adults found that people who ate more fermented foods tended to have slightly lower systolic blood pressure, smaller waist, lower body weight and BMI, lower triglycerides, and higher good HDL cholesterol. The effects are modest but statistically significant. However, this kind of study can only show a pattern, not proof, because it simply observed what people already ate rather than controlling diet like an experiment. While these research studies feel modern, your ancestors actually stumbled onto these health benefits thousands of years ago out of pure necessity. For most of human history, people didn't have refrigerators, so they found another trick to keep food from spoiling. They let tiny bacteria and yeast take over first on purpose. Cabbage became sauerkraut and kimchi, milk became kefir and yogurt, soybeans became miso. The microbes moved in, ate the sugars and produced acids that caused the sour flavors. Here's the trick. The acid drops the pH so low that harmful bacteria can't survive, so the food doesn't spoil. Your ancestors were doing biochemistry with cabbage and clay pots, thousands of years before anyone had a microscope. But not everything fermented is useful for health. Beer and wine are fermented, yet the yeast that made them is mostly filtered out before you ever taste them. Sourdough bread loses almost all its live microbes the moment it goes into a hot oven. The live microbial cultures have to survive all the way to your spoon for any of this to count. So the next time you eat a sauerkraut, think about how there's an entire hidden civilization working quietly to become part of you.